studying Japanese recently, that just suddenly reminded me of how hard it can be to just start a language from nothing. Facing alphabets that look like drawings and symbols, I'm just so lost on where to even begin. I must admit, when it comes to Korean, I'm way past the level where the characters look like a bunch of symbols, and for that reason, I kind of forget why people struggle so much with reading words and forming sentences. But now that I'm learning a new language again, I do remember how I also struggled to put the consonants and vowels together and had to pause with every word I read when I first started. That's why I'm making this video for you absolute beginners who want to study Korean from nothing. I know you're probably overwhelmed, and I figured out it may help you a lot if I can give you some actionable steps in which you can take right now to just get started. Step 1. Learn Hangeul and the pronunciation rules. Hangeul is just essentially the alphabets in Korean. For Hangeul, there are only 10 simple vowels, 14 simple consonants, 5 double consonants, 11 compound vowels, and just a few more rules for you to pronounce final consonants. For consonants in particular, it helps if you have pictures that you can associate the letters with. They are there to help you to remember how to write them, and it just makes things easier. I've mentioned this technique in my Korean Made Easy course, and if you're interested, go and sign up for it because it's just a systematic way to remember your letters, and it just saves you so much time. And this is how you'll learn Hangeul. Read, repeat, and write them. Just that easy. You repeat the process until you're familiar with the sounds and how you write them. You can also download some Korean Hangeul apps to help you out. So if you don't really remember some letters, you can always test yourself so you know which one to study again. Don't rely on romanization. Romanization is literally the English translation of how you will be sounding it out according to the English pronunciation. But it doesn't really work that well because Korean's pronunciation is not exactly the same with English. Take Hangeul, this word, so it's spelled with Hangeul, but then in English, Han is hen, so it's like Hangeul, which is not really the correct pronunciation. Step 2. Know what you have to study in order to move yourself up a level. According to the TOPIK exam, the standardized Korean language proficiency test, there are 6 levels in Korean, starting from level 1, which is the easiest, to level 6. For level 1, you will have to know around 800 commonly used words as well as basic grammar structure so that you can make simple sentences. You'll be able to communicate in basic Korean language, like greeting people in Korean, introducing yourself, ordering food, buying things, using transportation, and just getting around in Korea. And for level 2, you have to know around 1,500 to 2,000 words, and you'll be able to talk about topics that you're familiar with, and in like paragraph form, you can also use both formal and non-formal languages. So that is the casual form in Korean. From level 3 to 4, you'll be able to talk about some more varied topics as well as understanding what's on the news and in dramas. So you'll be able to understand more of the Korean culture. From level 5 to 6, you'll be able to communicate in Korean in more professional settings. You'll also be able to carry out your duties in Korean companies. And if you're a student, you'll also be able to understand your university materials in Korean. Now that you understand what you need to do in each level, it's time to set a study goal for yourself. Having a study goal is crucial in studying a language because for most people, learning Korean is not an urgent thing to do unless you're going to study or work in Korea or, like me, married to a Korean. So, to do yourself a favor, make it an urgent thing for you to do. Keep a consistent study schedule and make it a priority in your life so that you can get to your goal faster. Step 3. Take action. For level 1 in Korean, the first thing that you have to do is to build up your vocabulary bank. You can always go through the vocabulary playlist on this channel because it's divided into different vocabularies according to the categories that they are in. Also, with these vocabulary sheets, you can try to learn the vocabularies day by day and just to build it up and really try to use it in your sentences. For these vocabulary videos, it doesn't even take up 5 minutes in your day. So do go through them and day by day revise them by writing it, remembering it with pictures. And a quick tip to remember grammar. Remember the grammar patterns, not grammar structures, because patterns are way easier to remember. So at least remember one simple sentence with that grammar that you want to learn. For example, 할 수 있어요. 할 수 있어요. I can do it. What can I do? Studying Korean. So 한국어 공부를 할 수 있어요. In that way, you'll be able to form different sentences. You can do this, you can do that. Another thing that you have to remember is putting articles after words because particles serves as the function for listeners to understand what's the meaning in the sentence. For example, 김치를 먹어요. 를 here shows that kimchi in this sentence is an object because 를 is an object particle. So if you replace it with 는, so 김치는 먹어요, or with 가, 김치가 먹어요, it doesn't make sense because 는 and 가 are topic markers and subject markers in this example, and it doesn't really work here. If it's the first time for you to learn Korean, it's quite hard to know what to expect with this language. But with my experience teaching over 6,000 Korean lessons, students usually take around 3 months to get to level 1 for a TOPIK exam. And that's based on having 2 lessons in a week, providing that you do your revisions. Having a realistic expectation is so important that I cannot stress enough on that. Some students, they expect to get fluent in just a few months while just studying Korean like once a week. And I'm just going to tell you that it's not going to happen if you don't put enough effort into that. You end up disappointing yourself and putting too much pressure on yourself, which will end up giving up the language. Having a solid foundation is always better than having a weak foundation while going to the next level fast. Because you know what? You're going to forget your words, grammar, and everything if you don't revise enough. So take it slow and just really build it up. Remember, starting something is not easy and it's okay to treat yourself like a baby again. You'll soon be able to open up yourself to a whole new culture where you can understand Korean songs and dramas without subtitles, travel in Korea like a pro, and even make Korean friends. From my experience of living in Korea, I cannot stress on all the amazing things that you get to enjoy knowing the language. On a side note, if you wish to have a teacher to guide you through Korean, book a trial lesson with me now, and I hope to see you in class soon. What are you waiting for? Let's learn more Korean now. Vocabulary, more Korean tips.